Hello, Thailand, and hello, world. This is Voice of the Nation. Join us every Monday to Friday at 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Good morning, I'm Ping Titapha, and together with me are my co-hosts, Kun Nina Nirasha and Kun Yod Witaya. สวัสดีค่ะ
อรุณสวัสดีค่ะ Good morning
สวัสดีครับ
Voice of the Nation brings you updates and what's going on in Thailand. I hope you enjoy our program.
And your comments, feedback, and advice are welcome.
If you'd like to watch our previous episodes, please visit our YouTube channel, The Nation Thailand, and also on our Facebook page. Just search The Nation Thailand.
Yeah, today in our interview section, we have a guest of honor Kun Orlamon Saptavitam, Director General of the Department of Trade Negotiations, Ministry of Commerce with us. So let's kick off today. What you got this morning, Hakunina?
So this morning, let's start our morning Tuesday, 18th of January 2022 with the widely talked news in town today as Thailand will have a new political party. So the new political party is called พรรคสร้างอนาคตใหม่ or Building New Future Party ค่ะ
Wow. We have to build the future.
We have many futures and also สร้าง สร้าง like build in many parties. Do you have more details about this, Kunina?
Of course. So this new political party will be led by two key political persons. So Dr. Uttama Saonayon, former Minister of Finance and former Minister of Industry, and the second person is Kun Sontirat Sonti Jirawong, former Minister of Energy. So Voice of the Nation under the Nation Thailand has received an invitation to attend their press conference, which more detail will be given on tomorrow, 19th of January 2022 at Centara Grand at Central World Hotel. And on his Facebook page, Dr. Uttama, he also wrote about this and the brief information. So let me read it out to you. So he wrote yesterday that I asked Dr. Uttama, I can feel how Thai people are concerned about the future of the country. I can't see how they would go on with each other because we have a lot of problems. Many problems are deep-rooted in the country and for too long. And if we let such feelings to continue to linger on in everyone's heart, one day everyone will feel hopeless. And by then the country would not be able to continue on its path of progress. So he said, I believe that we do not want to live without hope, so we have no choice but to come together to deal with existing problems. We do not have time to say who is right and who is wrong. But we must not add to the problems and the situation as it is. We need to join forces to do everything to make our country better through the crisis, whether it's economic, epidemic, or society that is in conflict for Thailand to move on and create a better future for our children.
I hope.
And also,
hope the message.
Also, there have been rumors for some time about the formations of this new political party. That there will be 20 former MPs from various parties as well.
Yes, and Kun Ping.
Yes.
You were a reporter at the ministries. There were ministers before. How did you find out about them personally?
Everyone knows them as the super connection person. So basically, everyone's surprised when they got the position to be the Minister of Energy for Kun Sontirat. And a lot of people surprised also when Kun Uttama got the position of the Minister of Finance and
Mm-hmm.
Minister of Industry because both of them has no background about
Mm.
energy, about industry, or about finance. Maybe Uttama has a little bit background of finance, so that's why. But a lot of people surprised why them, but
Mm.
not surprised that much because this two person is kind of like a key man about the connection and
Mm.
for the Palang Pracharat Party that they both of them used to be as the member before. Everyone knows that this person is a key person for fundraising,
Mm.
fundraiser. He
Mm.
gathered a lot of sponsor. This is their job basically, and because the connection is powerful. So a lot of people keep an eye about these two people and another
Mm-hmm.
member that who going to coming to join later that which kind of party that they going to present as the new party of Thailand.
Do you think Kun Ping, you know, because setting up a new political party, they need
Mhm.
like big fund, like somebody
Yeah.
there backing them up financially. Any
Mhm.
clues or ideas who are backing them up? Not
Oh,
revealed yet.
it's hard to say, but one time that Palang Pracharat has a party, close
Mm-hmm.
party that they kind of like invite for the sponsorship to join their dinner together. And this is official already. They announce a lot of big names like King Power, like many,
Mm.
many
Mm.
companies to like be their sponsor on that time. And most of sponsor
Mm-hmm.
because of these two guys who can
Mm-hmm.
find this sponsor. So I wonder what's gonna happen when they build a new party. Will the sponsor will move from Palang Pracharat party and join their party? This is what people are looking for.
Okay. Could Nina, what's your opinion about this one? This big move, super big
Well,
move.
well, I'm not sure if we will have what it says, or wines in new bottles, basically. Because both of them are from Palang Pracharat, and as I said earlier, rumors have been spreading, about the formations of this party. There will be 20 former MPs from various parties, so let's see who will join. So I think let's find out and stay tuned with Voice of the Nation and on our website also, as we will live from the press conference tomorrow.
Tomorrow, and Kun Ping gonna be there. Somebody from us, right? Gonna be there.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna join the conference and bring some exclusive interview for Voice of the Nation for the
I
next
see.
day.
Okay.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So
So,
let's move on to the daily update. We have the second case of death caused by the Omicron case in Thailand. I'm sorry, caused by the Omicron variant in Thailand. So, Kun Vitaya, do you have any updates on this?
right, that's my turn. Yesterday, we had another report about second death case from Omicron. She was an 84 years old patient in Udon Thani. Udon Thani is a northeastern province in Thailand. The Center for COVID-19 Situation Administrations, or CCSA, announced yesterday that she was the second person to die from the COVID-19 variants in Thailand. The woman lived in Udon Thani, Kutjap district, and she was in the final stage of lung cancer and hooked up to a high flow oxygen machine. She tested positive for COVID-19 on January the 10th. It is believed she picked up the virus from her son. Owing to her health, her family requested that she be treated at home in isolation. She was prescribed favipiravir and doctors monitors her oxygen levels. The CCSA said she had no fever and her breathing was not restricted from January 10 to 14. However, on Saturday, her oxygen levels dropped to 76% and she began panting, and her family chose not to have her admitted to the hospital, and she was pronounced dead at 7:45 p.m. on Saturday. The first
Mm.
Omicron toll also took place last week. On January 12th, Thailand's first Omicron victim was an 86-year-old bedridden Alzheimer patient in Hat Yai district in Songkhla province. Songkhla Public Health announced, Songkhla Public Health, authorities said on Sunday that she had apparently already received 2 Pfizer jabs. The provincial Public Health Office said that the Hat Yai native, the person was a bedridden Alzheimer patient. It's believed she picked up the variant from her grandson, who tested positive after returning from Phuket. Although we have 2 Omicron fatalities, Thailand's COVID-19 crisis seems steady after a spike in the first week of 2022. Public Health Ministry Permanent Secretary Dr. Kietipoom Wongrachit said on Sunday that Thailand's COVID-19 situation has started to stabilize after the first 2 weeks of this year. He said in the first week, Thailand saw a rising number of new infections due to the spread of Omicron, which is more highly transmissible than the Delta variant. However, the number of new infections have started stabilizing and heading downwards, while the number of patients with severe symptoms is also dropping. After 2 first weeks of 2022, the country saw the lowest number of COVID-19 patients who require respirators. Though the trend is improving, Thailand still maintains alert level 4. This means all high-risk venues will be closed and people will have to refrain from traveling and participating in large gatherings to contain the spread of the virus. People are also advised to get a COVID-19 booster shot and regularly undergo ATK tests. If the situation continues improving, the ministry will urge the Center for COVID-19 Situation Administration to ease some measures so people's lives can return to normal as soon as possible. But don't lower your guard yet. Earlier this month, Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, head of the World Health Organization, authorities the authorities warned against describing the Omicron variant as mild amid a tsunami of cases overwhelming health systems across the world. The UN agency's latest weekly update showed that a record 9.5 million COVID-19 infections were reported across the world over the previous week. This was a 71% increase on the previous 7-day period. All regions reported a surge in the number of COVID-19 infections, with the largest increase or 100% increase observed in the Americas, followed by 78% in Southeast Asia and 65% in Europe. He said, while Omicron does appear to be less severe compared to Delta, especially in those vaccinated, it doesn't mean it should be categorized as mild. Just like previous variants, Omicron is hospitalizing people and it's killing people. He said the tsunami of cases is so huge and quick that it's overwhelming health systems around the world. Hospitals are becoming overcrowded and understaffed, which further results in unpreventable deaths from not only COVID-19, but other diseases and injuries where patients cannot receive timely care. Coming up next, let's update that what's going on about the cost of living with คุณนีนาครับ
so แพงทั้งแผ่นดิน
again
แพงทั้งแผ่นดิน again
right.
Everything is expensive all over the country. But let me share you some my own personal experience. Yesterday, I went to have pork noodles for lunch, and at the shop near my area, and I spoke to the vendors or the shop owner. I called her auntie. I asked her about the situation now. How is it? And she was like this.
Shaking her head.
No. She was like this. I was like, why? And she's like, everything is so expensive. And I sell pork noodles, and pork is so expensive. how am I dare not to increase my dish price yet. And I say, why? Because you get affected as well. And she's like, if I increase, what would my customers do?
And she get your herbal the amount lesser than usual.
No, it's very, very big, like minced pork, she has minced pork, she has pork balls, and she has like vegetables, and she has some slice of pork meat. It's very delicious, like one bowl for about 40 baht. And I got all of that, and it's filled up my tummy until in the evening. So let's moving on to this new. Okay, so yesterday, Pheu Thai Party, opposition Pheu Thai Party, slammed to Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha and blamed for a sharp rise in the cost of living. So for the opposition Pheu Thai Party, the answer is, of course, the Prime Minister and his government. Pheu Thai Party yesterday accused Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha and his government of mismanagement that has led to a sharp rise in the cost of living and more hardship of low-income people. During a press conference, Pheu Thai spokeswoman Thirarat Samretwanit said that the entire country was now suffering problems stemming from failures of Prayut's government. She said the failure include the rising cost of living, outbreak of disease in animal, and the COVID-19 pandemic. So she asked, does Thailand still have a prime minister? That's what she asked. Why is he working from home when the people are suffering? คุณวิทยา คุณปิง
Right.
She said that he is running the country by not running it and by covering it up information leading to disaster for the people and the country. So basically, she attacked Prayut over the rising price of pork, and she alleged that the rising price was caused by the government covering up as outbreak of African swine fever, or we know as ASF. She said the pork market would not have been hit by shortages resulting in soaring prices, and had the government addressed the ASF spread from the beginning instead of concealing it. So she said that the pork price has risen to the highest in Thailand history, and Thais are having to turn to other meats and foods, prompting their prices to increase. All sides are suffering. Many people have no income, and unemployment is rising. The most vulnerable people have not been taken care of. And coming up for this week, as scheduled, the spokeswoman said that Pheu Thai and other opposition parties would submit a parliamentary motion demanding an urgent debate on these issues, and the blame for expensive prices lies with the Prayut government. She also mentioned that Commerce Minister Jurin Laksanavisit had failed in his task of controlling prices of consumer goods, and she even compared that Jurin with the Kun Yingluck Shinawatra, former Prime Minister government, as her government was being attacked by Kun Jurin over the rising cost of living in 2013, but now he is facing the same trouble. Meanwhile, yesterday, I saw another news, คุณวิทยา คุณปิง that when reporters asked Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha about, everything is expensive, would he rise the basic labor costs? So now it's about 300 baht. Our Prime Minister replied that we have no money.
Just that. That's it.
He said we have no money, and if the labor cost would be increased, we will have to find money first. I mean, everything has increased except the labor cost. So, Okay, so moving on to another one. While many countries, including Thailand, are facing the same fate of the African swine fever, bird flu actually case arose in China. So Thailand Livestock Development Department Director General Sarawit Thanito said yesterday that 2 people died in China after being infected with H5N6 bird flu, and 3 others have been hospitalized. According to the Department of Health for Hong Kong, 5 people, 4 men and a woman, in China's Sichuan province, Zhejiang province, and Guangxi autonomous regions were infected with the bird flu strain in 2021. 2 of those people have now died, and the other 3 are currently in hospital with severe symptoms. Chinese officials said in a statement that 4 of the 5 people were exposed to live domestic poultry, while authorities were looking into how the 5th patient had got infected. The Livestock Development Department is on high alert over the recent emergence of H5N6 avian influenza in China. And although the disease has not been found in Thailand in the past 12 years, officials have increased screening measures of imported poultry as well as inspection of poultry farms in border provinces. Teams were also sent to collect samples from migratory birds and areas that have a high populations of birds. All movement of poultry in Thailand, both dead and alive, must be approved by the Provincial Livestock Office, while the import of poultry from countries with reports of bird flu has been temporarily suspended. Saravit said that people should not cook or distribute the meat if the animals have died from an unknown case. Instead, they should call the Provincial Livestock Office or Livestock Development Department to investigate. So many things have become so expensive, and right now I suppose that there are high demands of these products such as pork, chicken, duck due to the upcoming Chinese New Year. And the price of these ingredients are expected to rise higher. And I guess while this year is, I think it's the second year already for us, right, to celebrate the Chinese New Year during
With the high price.
COVID-19. Yes, with the high price, and celebrate Chinese New Year in I probably would call a new normal way.
A new normal way. Right.
A new normal way in Thailand. What about in China,คะคุณปิง?
Yeah, soon will be the Chinese New Year in China also. According to Chinese tradition, there will be a lot of travel during this period, and travel is a major risk factor for the COVID-19 outbreak, especially the Omicron. So several Chinese cities went on high COVID-19 alert as the Lunar New Year holiday travel season started on Monday. Travelers are required to report their trips before their arrival as the Omicron variant reached more areas, including Beijing. Authorities have warned the highly contagious Omicron adds to the increased risk of COVID-19 transmission as hundreds of millions of people travel around China for the Lunar New Year on February 1st. This is China's biggest holiday, with millions of people traditionally crisscrossing the country to join loved ones for the festivity. Now, cities such as Luoyang in central China and Jieyang in the south said on Sunday travelers need to report their trips to communities, employers, and hotels 3 days ahead of arrival. The southwestern city of Yulin said on Saturday those who want to enter should fill in an online form, including their health credential and trip details, one day in advance. Over the weekend, the capital Beijing and the southern technology hub Shenzhen each detected one domestically transmitted Omicron case. The possibility that the Omicron case in Beijing was infected through imported goods can't be ruled out either. A person at the Beijing Municipal Health Commission said a local hospital had admitted 9 Omicron infections, with 6 still being treated. He did not say when the infection arrived or why there hadn't been disclosed earlier. So far, at least 5 provinces and municipalities reported local Omicron infections, while 14 provincial areas found the variant among travelers arriving from overseas. Anyway, China is yet to show any solid sign of shifting its guideline of quickly containing any local infections, despite a high vaccination rate of 86.6%. The strategy has taken on extra urgency in the run-up the Winter Olympics to be staged in Beijing and neighboring Hebei province starting February 4th.
I see. Okay.
Mm.
What you have
Next,
next?
next we have the development of on the ASEAN country reactions that may cause from Cambodia's recent visit to Myanmar ค่ะคุณนีน่า
Okay, so since this year Cambodia will be the chairman ASEAN summit, but Cambodia began its ASEAN chairmanship with a postponement of a high-level meeting amid disagreement over Myanmar's representations in ASEAN. So the disagreement dragged on nearly a year, and since a military coup brought the instability to the country, so earlier Cambodia expressed confidence that it would be the first country to host an in-person ASEAN meeting since the start of COVID-19 pandemic. But it announced last week that it has postponed the foreign ministerial retreat because a number of ministers would have been unable to travel to their venue. So the ASEAN Foreign Ministerial retreat is usually held at the beginning of this year in an informal setting to allow the ministers to have frank discussions and set the tone for the rest of the year. So the meeting was earlier planned to be held on 18 to 19 of January in Siem Reap, Cambodia, but several ASEAN ministers say that they would be unable to attend. This includes Malaysian Foreign Minister Saifuddin Abdullah. He said that he would skip the meeting because he had to attend a session of parliament the next day. And while Abdul Qadir Jalani, who is the Director General for Asian, Pacific and African Affairs of Indonesia, also say that Indonesia understands well that postponement was made because of the rising number of COVID-19 cases in the region. He said that there are still disagreements on several issues within ASEAN, and he said ASEAN members have yet to reach a common perspective regarding the issue of invitation to representatives of Myanmar. And if we look back at the previous year, the ASEAN summit hosted by Brunei Darussalam in last year October, member states agreed that in the absence of progress, Myanmar should be represented by officials at the non-political level. So that's why the director of the Indonesian director say that we have to admit that even though this has been ongoing for a year, there has not been much progress on this ground. So it is clearly to say that there's some disagreement amongst ASEAN countries. And let's see how Cambodia going to cope with that or going to resolve that.
Okay, what's next?
So I'm not sure if what Cambodia will do, but one thing that I know that Thailand and some ASEAN country is a good news, will benefit from the free trade agreement, especially for Thailand. We have almost 40,000 products tax exempted down to 0% of what we call free trade agreement. So let's find out in the next live interview. Welcome back to Voice of the Nations. We have our special guest today who will share us the details about the recent Thailand's movement on the for the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, or what we know as RCEP, trade pact, in which this has come into effect since the 1st of January. So please welcome Kun Oramon Saptwitam, Director General of the Department of Trade Negotiations, Ministry of Commerce. สวัสดีค่ะ
ค่ะสวัสดีค่ะสวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
You look so bright this morning.
Thank you very much. Is it too bright? It's
No,
okay?
it's,
The light
it's
You look
okay.
very bright and fresh.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Nice
So
to
good.
meet the three of you.
Nice to meet you as well. Thank you for being in our program first.
Mhm.
Okay, ค่ะคุณอรมน I would like to ask you about the development of the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, or what we know as RCEP, came into force since the first day of this year, so January the 1st, 2022. So please give us a brief detailed background on this RCEP and the importance of this.
Okay, so the RCEP agreement it's come from Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. It is the largest FTA, free trade agreement right now. It's comprised of 15 countries, 10 ASEAN countries, and 5 trading partner of major trading partner of ASEAN, which are China, Japan, South Korea, Australia, and New Zealand. The
Yes.
RCEP agreement has been initiated around 2013, and luckily, when Thailand hosts the ASEAN meeting, we have managed to complete the package in 2019. So far, it has already been entered into force, and we foresee that because of this largest FTA, it comprises of around 1/3 of the world population. The importance of the agreement is that it provides open and fair trade rules and regulation on trade in goods, trade in services, and trade in investment. So I think it's open an opportunity for these 15 countries, especially after we facing with the COVID-19 challenges. So it provides a very good opportunity for our business sector to perhaps expand trade and our export to these 15 countries market.
So when you mentioned about the COVID-19 situation, what does Thailand stand to gain from the RCEP, especially during this pandemic?
Okay, let's start with the trade in goods. In the gist of the agreement, it provides opportunity for Thailand because our trading partner has to eliminate tariffs that impose on our export products. Around 90 to 92% of our export, the tariffs that impose on our export will be reduced to zero. So it's constitute around 39,000 item or products that the tariff will be reduced, and immediately around 29,000 tariff brines will be reduced to zero right now. So when you ask me about opportunity that provide to our exporter, when we facing with COVID-19 challenges, many countries try to control the borders in order to control the spread of the COVID-19. But once the RCEP agreement enter into force, it will provide a marketing opportunity for our export products. At the same time, it's also provide a relaxing rules and regulation at the borders. So when we export our products to these 15 countries, it can say that our products will be in a fast track because in the RCEP agreement, it's also impose the examination inspection at the border for the perishable goods. The member has to manage and let the product pass within 6 hours, and for the normal goods they have to do it the inspection within 48 hours. So it means that it will reduce expenditure at the border.
I see.
Can you please mention about what are the products that will be benefiting, for example?
Like I mentioned to you that around 29,000 items, the tariff will be reduced to zero. The RCEP agreements, actually, the trading partners in the RCEP agreements, we already have the FTA with them. For example, ASEAN FTA and ASEAN plus one FTA. But in the RCEP agreement, it also provide additional or top up the item that the tariff will be reduced to zero, especially the export to China, South Korea, and Japan. Example of the products is majority is agricultural product. For example, many fruits and vegetable juice that we export to China, the tariff will be reduced to zero. Also, example on industrial products, it's for example automobile parts. This example of product also reduce the tariffs also reduce to zero.
Well, we're talking about the advantages already. What about the disadvantage? I'm sorry. What about the disadvantage for
Okay.
Thailand and the yes?
I call it challenges. You know, in the free trade agreement, it's provide the give. We can say that it's a give and take because we also got an open market from our trading partner. At the same time, we also have to open our market for their product as well. So when we discuss with our stakeholder, like I mentioned to you that we already have, you know, the FTA, bilateral FTA with this trading partner within the RCEP. So we've already used to, you know, importing and reduce the tariff for the product of the RCEP member. But there may be some products which we have to provide, you know, more open market to them. So this is the challenges that our domestic industry may face. What we try to support this domestic industry is that we also try to set up the trade monitoring system so as to warn our domestic industry. If we see the statistic or the flow of imports flooding into the countries, we can warn our domestic industry. And at the same time, Ministry of Commerce, we have the measures, for example, safeguard measure, anti-dumping measure for our domestic industry to come and ask our Ministry of Commerce to investigate and perhaps try to impose this measure if we facing with the flood of imports.
Let me ask you about one of the certain product like rubber products, for example. And knowing that Malaysia is also well known for this type of products, would this affect Thai exporters, rubber exporters as well?
Rubber products. I think it's all these products is also in the list of products that our trading partners will have to reduce and eliminate tariff to our exporter. So the benefit is that because Thailand is the main exporter of rubber products, so I believe that we will get benefit from, you know, this tariff elimination and reduction to our rubber products as well as rubber, you know, process products. So I think it will provide benefit to our rubber exporter.
And following to this, how will RCEP facilitate international trade amongst members? And what will the member nations to do to step up for their corporations?
Pardon? Can you say again? I'm sorry.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so how will RCEP facilitate international trade amongst members, and what will member nations to do to set up their corporation?
Okay. Thank you. In the RCEP agreement, it's contain a detail, you know, of the agreement which cover around 20 chapters or 20 main topics. So it's provide rules and regulation related to trade in goods, trade in services, and trade investment. So in the agreement, it's also provide, I think, a new architecture, trade architecture to members, because in the RCEP agreement, it's also consists of developed countries as well as developing countries. For example, countries with has developed countries are Australia, New Zealand, Japan. At the same time, it's also comprised of China and ASEAN. All these together constitute around one third of the world population. So I think it's provide a trading opportunity for the whole member. At the same time, it also provides transparent on rules and regulation. So not only the large business sector will get a benefit from this trade agreement, but
Yes.
also for our SME, they will also get benefit from this agreement, because it's the first time that the FTA comprise of chapter for SME. It say that the member have to support, SME. The member has to provide a channel for SME to gain access to information related to the RCEP agreement. So, for example, like my department, we also provide information, detail of the agreement, as well as detail of the tariffs that imposed on our products, import and export under the RCEP agreement. So the SME can come and look, at this information in our website. So I think this RCEP agreement just enter into force the 1st January this year, just in time when we try to reconnect to our trading partner, so that at least these 15 countries will have opportunity to expand, trade to each other.
So, so far, what your recommendations? How should Thai business operators adapt to increase their competitiveness among RCEP member countries? What your so
Okay.
far recommendations for this?
Okay, I think first of all, we have to know, for example, our business sector, large and small, they have to understand what are the RCEP agreement, what are the details of the RCEP agreement, and how they can benefit from this agreement. For example, if they are exporter, they may want to know what will be the tariff or the import tax that will be imposed, when they export the product to these RCEP member countries. They can, like I mentioned, come and visit, the website of
Website.
Department of Trade Negotiations in order to check the rate, the tariff rate that provided in the RCEP agreement. And they will find that around 90 to 92% of the tariff of the total trade that trade in the RCEP countries, the tariff will be reduced to zero. So they can plan, they can do their business plan, when they do trade with these RCEP member countries. And at the same time, there are also other rules and regulations related. For example, if you export agricultural product, sometimes you need to pass the sanitary and phytosanitary tests in order to ensure that your products are safe for consumer. In the RCEP agreement, these rules and regulation will be harmonized and keep up to international standard. So you can, come and also check the detail of the agreement as well, including rules and regulations on electronic commerce, trade in digital. The RCEP agreement also try to ensure that member countries will have to provide, consumer protection when they do, trade in digital.
I
So
see.
these are only the example. There are other detail, but
Mhm.
you can come and check at the website. And we are also provide e-learning related to RCEP agreement in our website. So anyone interested to learn more about the RCEP agreement, they can come and visit our website.
Okay, so let me summarize. So this RCEP agreements will be benefiting for many sectors like SMEs and large sectors as well. And the industries that you were talking about is the, let's say, agriculturals or electronics, mechanic, and rubber, for example. Is that right? And if Thai businesses would like to find out more information about that, they can go and visit and find out on
Yes, at
the
the Department of Trade Negotiation website. It's worldwideweb.dtn.go.th, or they can also come and check at the Facebook of our department.
Will you have any further press release on this matter?
Yes, I think we provide regular press release and information related to RCEP agreement. But my department also plan to organize again a seminar in Bangkok and in the provinces. And when we organize the seminar, we will also do it through Facebook, live Facebook. Anyone interested can come and check, and we will of course certainly inform the nation when we organize this seminar. It will be organized soon, I think around the beginning of next month.
Okay.
Okay, Ka, and thank you very much for your fruitful information. And I'm pretty sure that this agreement would benefit a lot of sectors, and especially amongst the COVID-19 pandemic. So thank you a lot for today. So we're running out of time, and we shall see you next time when you invite us on the on the
Thank
next
you.
development. Thank you ค่ะคุณอรมนสวัสดีค่ะ
ขอบคุณค่ะสวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
Welcome back. Thailand seems to be a very happy country right now because both cabinets and kratom are legal, and during this COVID crisis, they play an important role in the economy. Now we have a report on kratom at a time when many people are in financial hardship. So let's take a look on our special report by the nation.
Kratom is a tropical tree native to Southeast Asia with leaves that contain compounds that can have psychotropic effects. Thailand became the first Southeast Asian country to legalize Kratom for medical purposes in 2018, and 3 years later, the herb was removed from the national list of prohibited narcotics. Over 12,000 people who were flung behind the bars for Kratom-related offenses have now been granted amnesty. Yet there are still a lot of questions about the legalization of Kratom, about what can and cannot be done. However, Kratom legalization came at just the right time. Thailand was hit hard by the COVID-19 crisis, when the first infection surfaced here in January 2020. Though the country was initially successful in controlling the virus, things got out of hand when more people began getting infected and the government had to order extensive lockdowns. These lockdowns brought the Thai economy to a near standstill. That's why, when Kratom was legalized, it gave hope to many people who thought they could make loads of money from selling the herb. especially since other jobs had become harder to find. It is believed that kratom and kratom-related products brought revenue of nearly 1 billion baht in just 1 month after legalization. Growers certainly made a lot of money from this herb. When browsing online shops, you will find many kratom-related products in the form of drinks and supplements in a fairly large price range. You can also see kratom leaves and beverage being sold freely at markets and roadside stores, a clear sign that there is a huge demand for kratom products in Thai society. Though the sale of kratom products earned some people up to 10,000 baht yearly after the herb was legalized, the honeymoon period is now clearly over. With more players in the business, revenue has slumped significantly. Like with many cash crops, those who enter early made the big bucks. From a health perspective, meanwhile, many Thais are worried that the misuse of kratom may lead to health problems. In many countries, it is still argued that the mitragynine alkaloid, which is abundant in kratom, will have an impact on the central nervous system, much like the effect of psychedelic mushrooms, LSD, and amphetamine. Those who chew kratom leaves apparently feel happy, energetic, and do not feel hungry. Kratom apparently boosts energy so much that the people can work for long hours without getting tired. However, if consumed in large quantities, kratom can cause dizziness and nausea, and is believed to darken skin after extended consumption. Some people have also reported paranoia and hallucinations. But so far, no kratom user has been found to be violent. Gairak Ngamsopha, The Nation, Thailand Report.
Well, kratom scoop. I love that.
Can I share you something?
About what?
Apparently, every morning, well, among Thai people, let's say, they would chew the kratom leaves, right? Just chew it and just swallow the juice, and then you just spit out the leaves out. And apparently, it gives you a fact that you can work all day. Your brain will be very bright in the morning, like fresh and shine. Maybe it's better than coffee.
Bring some for me. Okay, next one, we take a look at this guy. He became viral on the TikTok, and Kun Ping could not resist that, or that. Piyot, just read this for me. Okay, look at this guy. This is a
Oh, you
man.
mean the red?
This guy, right?
The red one, right?
The red
shirt.
one. This guy, the red one. He posting content about him and his 8 wives, and they live in harmony. It has become a viral clip on TikTok. These are all the 8 wives that look the way. I think they look like the same. They have the long hair and look the same. You think?
They're not bad. They're quite pretty. Right? This is all their wife, Kun Yot.
They're all their wives. They're not friends or classmates or people living in the same village, right? Look at them. They look really happy. Look at the same age, and they are vibrant. Look at that.
So harmony.
Look at that. In harmony, dancing in harmony. This is a wife of a guy, and he posted this on the TikTok. Many clips, right, Kun Ping?
Yeah.
Many clips about lively family and happy family. And also in this dress and this look too, maybe they're going to somewhere, it's an event, a party, but looks sexy. Everyone looks like ready to be, what's that? This is not a harem. This is a family. This guy, he got 8 wives, and also he posts this a lot, and people just question, is this real or just promoting something, or promoting maybe the next Korean band with a girl group? I'm not sure. But people have doubts and also suspect that this guy must be doing something. It's not really has his real wife. Maybe somebody that he hired, or somebody he want to promote whatever items he has. Look at this. A lot of stuff and happy family. I don't know who's the birthday. I don't know. Maybe he's the guy's birthday. And what Kun Ping?
Yeah, so this guy is quite like a popular on TikTok because like he's a tattoo master, right? And he has the 8 wives also. And like Kun Yot said, when a lot of people have a question about this guy. One TV
Right.
program,
Mhm.
yeah, go to his place and interview him and
Mhm.
interview his wife to check like to investigate like what the truth
This is
is.
real.
Yeah, is it
Yes.
real? And the interview, like every girl, every wife said like, hey, this is real, I love him, and we live here like a sister, big sister and little sister, we never
Mhm.
fight, and everyone has their own room, one room sleep, like a
One room for
two wives,
two wives.
one two
Kunina,
for
you believe
two
that?
wives,
One room for two wives.
and
So
he
they
have
got
room for everyone. And in the interview he said like, yeah, he just like when he want to like sleep over in any
Mhm.
place, he have to
Mhm.
like go to the step like first one first, go check the
Oh,
second one first, and go to the third one
I
later on.
see.
So this is the way he organized. A lot of people crazy about this, like, hey, how come, why
Mhm.
a lot of women allow this guy do that, คุณยอด
I see. But the interview clip hit 1 million views in less than 24 hours, and this surprised a
Oh
lot of
my
people.
god.
And because he managed like this, so people surprised how can he manage the life and living like this. And
คุณยอด do
some
you
of the
have any experience like this before?
no. Uh, I prefer to have admin instead. Okay, he managed to set one bedroom for two wives, right? That Kun Ping
Yeah.
said, and everyone should seem to take care of each other. And but some of the women families in the news that they're not really pleased about him because maybe he doing something not really good for them. But later when he showed that he can support her and make everyone happy, so the family is quite okay with that because he's a tattoo master. And if you see his shop and his venue, is a big showed a lot of stuff there, and I think he make a lot of money. That's why he cannot take care of this wife. And the way he managed, because I'm interested in strategy and management, the way he managed, he told the first wife whose name is Kun Spy, and she told her that I'm a womanizer, like he's into looking after women and falling in love with many women at the same time, and she's okay. So she set a rule like when newcomers coming to the family, the older sister, the Kun Spy will be like older sister, take care of the rest. So it's the way he managed. So it's never fight, and never competing or anything. And another personality, a guy, somebody on the Kun, what I forgot his name. Yeah, Yu Bamrung. That guy.
คุณวัน
Yes, he's a
Yeah, Kun Wan.
politician.
Maybe they friends, they make fun of each other, and they said on his website that he's trying to do something or else selling stuff. Right, he's selling stuff. He have the tattoo parlor, he has the service, and he's a master. And but I think one thing that he quite making it clear about in his statement. He said that don't look at my love life is not
example
example. It's not like helping the society at all. It's not something like helping the society to be a better society. But look at what he's contributed to the society, because he has one, what is that? A charity program that he donate 500 baht for the poor or the homeless to exchange with a smile. So this is doing the campaign. Also, I think one thing is that his CSR, to
Yeah.
promote life, and also this clip is just marketing, just to say that I really have 8 wives, but I do something else that's good too. I think he's really a good PR man. What do you think, Kun Nina?
Oh.
I think he's really a good PR man. What do you think?
I think I'm pretty well definitely if it's true
Mhm.
a lot of customers will go to his tattoo school, tattoo shops, because he's very well known for these เสน่ห์เมตตามหานิยม is that
I
right?
see.
เสน่ห์ like charming to make people
Charming, giving Chinese mantra to people.
how to talk, how to talk, and then I don't know how to I don't know how to explain that. But one thing this guy is one thing I can see genuinity from this guy is he inside a family, and every family should have this type of harmony. I mean, in terms of not how many wives that you can that can stay together in harmonies, but in terms of mom, dad, daughter, son, this guy promotes harmony in the family. That's one thing I see, and it's very positive.
I see. Actually, if he's a family guy, he's a family guy, right? So I just before we have no time for
We close
now.
our program.
We close the program. One idea is polyamorous, like you can love many people at the same time and not fighting. Okay. That's
Okay.
good. Yeah. คุณ ปิงครับ
That is your suggestion to me.
No.
I'll take it in consideration.
Okay.
For your consideration.
Right. Yeah, and that wraps up our Voice of the Nation morning news update for today. I hope you enjoy our program.
Okay ค่ะ and have a nice day. I am Nina Nirasha มาริศักดิ์สวัสดีค่ะ
วิทยาแสงอรุณสวัสดีครับ
And me, Ping Thitapha Siripipa. See you tomorrow and have a great day.